I saw The Friend late last night. I wasn't planning on it. I was at the theater to see Paul Walter Hauser's latest film, The Luckiest Man in America, but I got bumped for Minecraft. The theater just abruptly canceled my showing to make room for Minecraft because of the fanfare. And so I stuck around to see the 10:15 showing of The Friend, and I'm glad I did. It's okay, but I am glad I did. I love movies like this centering pets, particularly dogs. Films like Hachiko and Marley and Me, and even Five Below, some of my favorite films of all time. And so I liked this. I had issues with the character development or lack thereof, and some of the storylines were a little problematic, but I'm glad I saw it. I love Naomi Watts. There is not a film Naomi Watts has been in that I have not seen. I love her. This is a Naomi Watts stan channel, and I'm glad whenever she makes room for movies that are not horror films. But this film stars Naomi Watts, Carla Gugino, and Bill Murray, and this beautiful Great Dane that was so spectacular in the movie that he just upstaged everybody. Beautiful dog that really did give a good performance. So, what's The Friend about? Basically, Naomi Watts plays an author who just puts her life on hold to edit this book of her mentor, whom she's really in love with. And her mentor, played by Bill Murray, who is an author, a laureate, really, he unalives himself and leaves his beautiful dog behind that he rescued. And eventually, the dog is rehomed to Naomi Watts, who isn't supposed to have it. She's not particularly a dog person, she's a cat person, but she's living in this rent controlled apartment and that can't have dogs. So, this dog and his unaliving that just uproots or changes her life forever. And so now she has to figure out a way to keep the dog or rehome the dog, which is really, I felt, inhumane. There's some problematic plot points with the film overall, and that is inevitable when you're dealing with something as sensitive as like these stories surrounding dogs. But I liked it for the most part. It came off as if I were reading a novel. It's slow paced in that way. It really does take its time. Some of it could have been cut out. I think some of it is unnecessary. My biggest gripe with it is that the characters, the supporting characters, were so underdeveloped. Like Carla Gugino's character just seemed to pop in and out and didn't have any soul in her character. She didn't have any substantive reason to even be in the film. And that was unfortunate. Like, she was so thinly written that she just popped in as if she was a ghost. Another thing is that Bill Murray's character, he is not a good person. Even the first sequence when we meet him, he says something so uber problematic. And even as we get to know him even more through these side characters, because that's all they do is bring the personality out of somebody that is not on screen for most of the movie, he just has like this problematic personality, and we have to feel for him because despite him being not such a good person, he rescued this dog. He saved this dog and cared for this dog more than he cared for himself and cared for the humans around him. And then he unalived himself. So I felt like we were forced, the audience is forced to like him, even though he is somewhat of a villain. I thought that was a good way to deliver the story. It was very heartwarming. But It was very long too. Like it takes a long time to get there, as if you're going on this long road trip. And I kept feeling like I wanted to say, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And the last 30 minutes of the film was so heartbreaking, and it's dragged out really long. Like it was touch and go for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of the story. That got a little frustrating. Overall, I did like it. I don't think it's one that I will rewatch and rewatch the way I've rewatched Marley and Me and Five Below and Hachiko. I don't think I will rewatch it in that way. I don't think it has rewatchability in that way, but I like it overall. I think it's one that will probably blow up when it's streaming on a platform because it is one to watch, but it isn't rewatchable, if that makes sense. At any rate, this is an indie. I love supporting indies at the theater, which is why I'm glad I stuck around last night to see it. If it's playing at a theater near you and you like dog movies, definitely see it because you're going to fall madly in love, head over heels for this Great Dane that is just, it upstages everybody in the film, I fear. At any rate, The Friend is in theaters now.